Hey there, welcome back to the channel. It's Ajna McClanahan with Principles of Increase, where I help you find and explore different ways to increase in different areas of your life. And today I'm talking about something that I really enjoy talking about, and that's investing in real estate, and more specifically, how you can invest in real estate remotely. So, just a very quick recap of my story. I started investing in real estate, I would say, really around 2009, 2010. And I've told this story before, but basically what happened, I had a relative who they inherited a property they didn't want because it was in the hood, it was in the inner city, and they're like, have at it. If you want to, clean it out and fix it up, it's yours. You can take it to do with what you want. And at first I'm like, I don't want to live in the hood, just like you don't want to live in the hood. But I ended up taking advantage of the opportunity, and it was life changing. Eventually that property did turn into a rental. It helped me raise capital to invest in, other real estate projects. It was a real blessing. So I would give myself at least 10 or 11 years in the real estate game. And usually I have always lived very close to the properties I'm investing in. But here lately, as you may or may not know, I actually moved to Puerto Rico from Florida. So I have a property, an Airbnb, a short-term rental in Florida, and I'm managing that from Puerto Rico. And when I was in Florida, I was actually managing the Puerto Rico Airbnb from Florida. So I have really honed my remote real estate investing game. So for those of you who live in high cost of living areas and you want to invest in real estate but just don't have the money to do it where you are, investing remotely is a great idea. You can look into lower cost of living markets where you can get properties that are much less expensive. The only caveat is that you have to feel comfortable with it. For example, I have totally purchased properties sight unseen. I hadn't been in the inside. I didn't know what was going on with them. I just showed up and was like, I hope I made a good decision. So you have to feel comfortable with that process, and you have to learn how to basically manage it remotely. So in this video, I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can do that. I'm going to talk about some of the things that have helped me. So the first thing I think that you should invest in right away is smart everything. That's smart locks. You should get a garage door opener that you can open from your phone, a smart thermostat, basically things you can control from your phone. So when I've gotten real estate and had to, start working with it, either doing renovations or just setting it up remotely, the smart locks are one of the first things I get. And I use Simply Safe for basically it's an alarm system, but they have smart locks, and it's like modular. You can build on it little by little. So I started with the smart locks, then I added cameras. You can add water sensors. You can add glass break sensors. And I've always done the Simply Safe installations myself. So I'll put some links below to like my Airbnb or my like real estate owner kind of starter pack or whatever. It goes through my Amazon store. But let me get back to the point of putting in smart everything. I use those smart locks so that contractors come in, everyone can get their unique pin. So I know who the cleaning lady, when she's coming in, when she's leaving. I know when the handyman, the contractor, all of that stuff. So smart everything so that you can see what's going on from your phone. And then the next thing I think that'll help you on your remote real estate investing managing journey is using these, I guess they're like task platforms for, I don't know the exact word for them, but I'll give you an example. I use TaskRabbit to find all kinds of help in the markets where I'm investing. And this is the availability of your talent or help. That's going to depend on the market that you're in. If you're in a smaller, more rural area, I don't know how much these platforms are used. In that case, you could use something like Yelp. I've hired people from Yelp before. Any place where you can find a professional, a trade, a cleaner, someone who can help you around the house, and there are ratings attached to their name. So for me, TaskRabbit is my go-to, but for you, it might be Google Maps, looking up the reviews for that business. It might be Yelp. So I have found, again, so much help, from trades to someone to come in and mount a TV to someone who can power wash or whatever. And even to this day, there's some people that I've retained from that platform that help me on a regular basis. So that's great for finding help remotely. So the next thing I think is going to be super helpful is to have a virtual mailbox. These services have been around for quite some time. However, I just started using them because not so much of managing property remotely, but I was actually moving around a lot, and I have been, and I suspect that I'll be doing even more moving around. So the nice thing about virtual mailboxes is that they eliminate this task of you having to check your mail, scan it, shred it. And for me, I've always had PO boxes anyway for my business stuff. So it also eliminates a trip to the post office for me. And so if you don't want mail like piling up at your properties that you own remotely, diverting to a virtual mailbox, I think is a good idea. And honestly, I will say that even if I didn't have property remotely and if I wasn't traveling so much, I would still get a virtual mailbox because the time that it saves me is so worth it. I no longer have to do the scanning, shredding, and making those trips to the post office myself. They do that for you, and they have plans that start at maybe like $12 or $15 a month. In addition, they will cash checks for you. So when my checks come in, they'll mark it like for deposit only, and they will mail it to your bank. They will forward things for you. I had a time, not too long ago where I was just constantly losing debit and credit cards, and to have those sent to me in Puerto Rico was nightmarish. I basically could not get anything, but since I've forwarded to my virtual mailbox service and they get it to me here in Puerto Rico, I've had no problems. And they just added a VPN service to their offering, to the package. So if you're, again, traveling a lot and you want some security, you need to show that you are logging in from a US, IP address for security reasons, then, they have just thrown that in there. So I will put a link below to that service. You guys sign up for it. If you just get overwhelmed by mail piling up in your room, on your dining room table, this service is a godsend. Okay, so that commercial is over. Let's move on to the next thing that's going to help you manage your real estate remotely. Okay, so if you guys are enjoying these tips, I first of all want to appreciate you for hanging in there, giving me your attention. I want to plug really quickly a resource that I have linked down below, and it's called 17 Creative Ways to Invest in Real Estate. And basically, it is a very quick ebook to show you that you have more options and opportunities to invest in real estate than you think. For those of you who think that maybe you don't make enough money, you don't have good enough credit, there are so many ways that you can invest in real estate, and I want to help you get started. So please take a moment to check out that resource. Throw your email address in there and I'll send immediately to you that ebook so that you can start to use these tips that I'm giving you about investing in real estate remotely, like right away. So another service that I'm a huge fan of is like the grocery delivery services. So your Instacart, your Walmart delivery. And I think Amazon may or may not still have this service. I don't live in a market where that's available, but I remember when I was in Chicago, they delivered groceries to me like in a few hours. So that was pretty cool. But anywhere it's available, and some even the larger chains, I believe they have their own grocery delivery or even curbside pickup service. So both of those can work for you. And I use that a lot. For example, when guests show up and maybe something is missing or something has gone wrong. I recently had a guest where the refrigerator was not cooling and they needed refrigeration for their medicine. So within an hour or so, I was able to send them like a mini fridge until I fixed the main fridge. One time a lady showed up and there were not enough coffee cups for her. So within a few hours, she had coffee cups. So it's just a way to keep your guests happy. And then also, if I have contractors or cleaners at the place and they need cleaning supplies, paper towels, that's a quick, easy way to just have things show up without waiting days and days. So you can, I think with Instacart, you can get a membership, but you don't have to have a membership. It's a little bit more expensive each delivery without the membership, but at your discretion, whether you get a membership or not, I think those services are worth it. And they can get you out of a lot of trouble at the last minute or when you get in a bind or pickle. And lastly, I think you are going to be greatly served in your remote real estate investing journey by having some type of software stack to help you manage everything. So I like Trello for project management. And then there's obviously Google Apps, that whole productivity suite. where you have like spreadsheets. You can share these files. You can upload pictures. I put my guest book for Airbnb there. What else? Calendar to manage my Airbnb bookings, and the calendar also integrates with Trello too. So all those things are super helpful just to stay organized. I use Wave for accounting. That's free for the moment, and it meets the basic accounting needs that I have. So yeah, getting some type of software in place, and then obviously if you're doing short-term rentals, you need to pick different platforms that you're going to market your property on. So that might be Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com. HostAway pushes you out to a bunch of different platforms. I think like Expedia and some of those other booking websites. So yeah, just a way to help you stay organized and run your rental business or your property investment business like an actual business. So I hope that all of these tips were helpful for you, and they encourage you that you can invest in real estate, and you can even do it remotely. You don't have to be where your properties are. So thanks again for watching today, and I'll catch you on the next video.